We'll start off by putting primer on our face. I always put eye drops because it helps with my dry eyes. Once the primer is dry, I apply concealer to the dark spots on my face to make my face look more even and 2D. Make sure you really rub it in. Next up is foundation. Make sure you get the foundation everywhere except for your lips. Never put it on the lips. Now this is my least favorite part of makeup, is doing the contour. It's going to look really harsh, but trust me, at a convention or taking photos, it gets washed out. If you're pale like me, make sure you use a cool toned contour, because if you use bronzer, it will make it look like you have mud on your face, and that's no bueno. Make sure you blend it in pretty well. Next up, we're going to work on the nose. I use a lighter shade of contour for the nose, and search up different ways to contour your nose because everyone's nose is different and you need to contour in different ways. So for me, I have a button nose, and you can see me trying to flatten that out. It's finally time for the blush. I'm still figuring out what color I like using as blush, but I always place it on my high cheekbones, and that accentuates the cheekbones more to make my face look less round. I use the rest of the powder on my nose to add a cute little bit of blush. I use highlight on my cupid's bow, on the bridge of my nose, on the tip of my nose, and on the inner parts of my eyes and under my eyebrows to make everything kind of pop. And of course, always remember to put it on your cheekbones. I usually stay away from white highlights and I use apricot colored ones. Ta-da! Now it's time for my favorite part, eyeshadow. I always start off on the outer side of my eye with the darkest color of red they have. I like doing a gradient with my whole eye, so the next up color I use is a lighter red. It's going to be more shimmery and add a little bit more depth. With male characters, I tend to use more muted colors that are more brown, but I like being a little adventurous sometimes. Next up is orange. I usually place this around the middle of my eye. Make sure you blend out the colors pretty evenly. We're going to move on to the inner eye. I use a gold here, but I usually put another layer of a cooler gold, and I blend it up over the rest of the colors. I like to exaggerate my eyes by adding a dark red underneath. You probably see a lot of Danganronpa cosplayers doing this. I also like to add eyeliner on the upper waterline. This makes my eyes look a little more narrow. I'm sorry if touching my eyes makes you guys cringe. Now it's time for eyeliner. This makes or breaks your whole look. It took a lot of experimenting for me to figure out what shape fit my eyes. I highly suggest you guys figure out what your eye shape is and search up tutorials on how to do eyeliner for them. For my eye shape, I need to keep the line super close to my eyes or else it just looks like a huge blob of eyeliner. Make sure to constantly step back and make sure it looks okay. I like to add some eyeliner underneath my eye, and I keep it super thin. However, this time I don't keep it close to my eyes, and there's a little bit of gap between. This took a lot of practice, so don't get frustrated. I like adding little eyelashes on the bottom. I don't know, I think it's cute. I suggest having a makeup wipe to clean up any mistakes. This part I find the hardest out of any of the makeup looks. I like adding a line on the inner eye. I don't know how to describe it, but it makes my eyes look a little closer because I have really wide set eyes. So I like it, and it makes my eyes look sharper. Still learning how to do it, and I try to include it in my daily look by adding brown eyeliner instead. This is what the finished eyeliner look looks like. I like to add brown eyeshadow on a tiny angled brush and go along my crease. I don't know how I figured this out, but it evens out my eyes and makes them look less wrinkled. It also makes my whole look cleaner, I don't really know how or why. Maybe I just have really wrinkly eyes. Since I'm getting into a male cosplay, I just slap on some mascara. I really hate putting on fake eyelashes, so this works for me. This one's also kind of weird, but I like adding a little bit of dark matte lipstick on the edges of my mouth. If I put it upturned, it looks kind of like a smile, and it makes my whole face look thinner compared to my lips. So, it's pretty nice. I also want to say why I don't like putting concealer around my lips. I know most cosplayers say to do it, but it makes your whole lips disappear in photos, so just a natural look does that enough. Like, if you want the gradient in photos, just don't put any concealer and just leave your lips bare. This is the finished look. Add some setting spray and you're done.